Hello, I thought I'd tell you today how it is that I owe my existence to a squashed hat. Now, I should preface this by saying it's one of those family stories that get told at family gatherings over the years. I think all families have them. So you never know to what extent this has been embroidered or Chinese whispers have been involved. But anyway, I hope it's basically true. The first bit is certainly true, that is factual, and that is that my mum married a very nice man called Kenneth when she was barely 20, and they got their first house together in Witton in Birmingham, for those who might know Birmingham and its various districts, and all was going very well for a relatively short time, and then the Second World War broke out. And Kenneth went off to do his duty as an RAF pilot. And he flew many missions, and miraculously he always came home unscathed from them. And then there was a period, I'm told, towards the end of the Second World War when it we were going to win. It was nearly all over bar the shouting. And off Kenneth went to fly probably his final mission, which indeed did turn out to be, in a different sense, his final mission, because he was shot down over Holland and never came home. And my poor mom gave up her lovely new house and went back to live with her mom, my nan, in Witton, just nearby. And from then on, it was just the two of them, the two widows, because all my mum's siblings had left home and found partners by then. So it was just the two siblings for about 15 years, during which time my mum never looked at another man. And then in her late 30s, she contrived to be going out with two men at the same time, one of whom was my dad. And they knew about each other, and needless to say, neither of them liked the situation, but they kind of had to put up with it, and they were given designated nights when it was their turn to take her out. And one night, the other man arrived, and my nan let him in and said, Lily's still upstairs getting ready, go into the front room, she'll only be a few minutes. Off he went into the front room. And then, to my nan's surprise, the doorbell went again. And she thought, who's that? I'm expecting him tonight, nobody else, I wonder who it could be. Went to the front door, it was my dad. One of them had got the wrong night, I don't know which. And my dad came in and he saw a man's hat on the hat stand in the hall. All men wore hats when they were dressing up in those days. And he said it was the only time in his life when he literally saw red. He was so in love with my mom and so furious to think that his love rival was there that everything that he saw took on a kind of pinkish tinge. And unbidden, his hand reached out to the hat, took it off the hat stand, opened the front door and threw the hat out into the street. And Nan and Mom lived on a main road, so it was promptly squashed flat by a Birmingham Corporation bus. As this was happening, my mom was descending from the top of the stairs ready for her date and saw this and thought, what an idiot, what a stupid thing to do, he's just ruined somebody's hat. Oh well, it looks like the other guy is the one for me. It's time I made a decision. I think I'm going to go with the other guy. Very fortunately for my dad, at about the same time, the other suitor, hearing this big commotion in the hall, came out, saw my dad, heard what he'd done, and hit him. And my nan drew herself up to her full 5'2" and ordered him out of her house never to return. And off he meekly went. And my mom thought, oh no, this one's worse. This one's violent. Supposing he starts hitting me? Or supposing every time we go out to the pub or for a meal, I'm worried that something's going to kick off? Oh, that'll never do. Oh well, looks like I'll have to make do with the idiot. So she made do with the idiot, my dad, and married him. And I arrived 11 months after they got married. And that is why I owe my existence to a squashed hat.